Welcome
to Danica Daycast!
Danica Daycast! Episode 12? Monica's going to sing our new theme song.
Carrot baby, come to me now. Carrot baby, home to me.
What are you going to do when the carrot baby comes to you?
I don't know.
That feels irresponsible, you know?
I just come up with these on the fly, you know.
I feel sad for that carrot baby then. It's going to leave its home, leave all that it's ever known to come to you. And it shows up at your door and say, Monica, I've done what you've asked. I am here. I fulfilled my destiny. Now, what do you have for me? What is my purpose?
I close the door and I say it's too late now.
No. Poor carrot baby.
Or you eat it.
No.
It's a carrot.
It's like Hansel and Gretel. Although not quite. In Hansel and Gretel, how did they does she lure them with candy, or do they find their way back because of candy, or breadcrumbs? They leave breadcrumbs?
Yeah, they leave breadcrumbs, but... And
she got candy? Is that her thing? Why did they go to her house?
Because they saw that it was a house made of candy.
Oh, yeah.
And then they started eating the windows and stuff.
A candy house would be pretty cool.
But I don't get it. Why is she a cannibal witch?
I feel like cannibal witches are underrepresented. Right?
But why? Why can't she just be a normal witch?
But what other stories do you know that have a cannibal witch? And you got to think, for that many witches out there, there's got to be a couple cannibals.
Nah.
At least one.
No.
At least one.
We don't need her.
Now, if every witch was a cannibal, then I'd be asking questions. Be going, what's going on with all these cannibal witches? But just one? Nah, that's fine.
I guess.
What was her... Okay, so house is made of candy.
Yeah.
Right? How long was that house standing there waiting for kids to come? And has she done this before?
I think so. I think in the book it mentions that there's other kids' bones.
Oh, yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, and is that how they know to escape?
Yeah.
But is she building a new house? Or I guess she just has to do some repairs, right? They eat some of the house. That part's fixed up. But after a while, you think she'd have to just rebuild the whole thing from the ground up. Because otherwise you go, okay, that candy's from 2 weeks ago. That candy's from 6 months ago. That candy's from 83.
Maybe the kids don't care and they'll still eat it.
Yeah, it depends. I think I've said before how
the time you ate that old candy cane.
Yeah.
How old was that candy cane?
I think it's from the 70s or the 80s or something.
Ew.
Every
time you mention how old it is, I'm like, ew.
Not that bad.
Gross.
Yeah, I think I ate a candy cane from the 70s or the 80s. But not yesterday, but in the 2000s when I was a child, when I was doing my childing. Maybe 2007, if you want to put a number on it. Who knows?
That's gross.
But it was the tradition was my dad's side of the family, they would they put candy canes on the Christmas tree every year, and then basically they just forgot to they put candy canes on the tree, and then when they were packing it back up, they'd they'd take the candy canes off, right?
Yeah.
But one year they forgot, and they just left a little candy cane there. They saw it the next year, put it back on the tree, and it kind of became a tradition. So every single year, they'd put that same old candy cane up over and over and over
Until you ate
again.
it? You stopped the tradition?
And then
you stopped the tradition.
2006,
Daniel,
2007, I ate
that's
that candy
unlucky.
cane. It was older then than I am now.
It's so unlucky.
But it tasted good. It was soft. It was chewy.
Tradition stopper.
It was chewy. I don't know. I just remember eating it. But I didn't die.
Of course not.
There are some people who go out of their way to specifically eat really old stuff.
I know we were watching this guy on YouTube that he was eating stuff from
Was it like old
the
army rations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that was
From like the
gross.
50s or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then don't you know you're gonna be sick?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you
Like,
have to get used to it.
why would you get sick on purpose? Like the only way
For
the only
content.
thing I would
For
do
content.
No, but the only way that I would do that was if I didn't want to go to school the next day and I just did that. Like the kids that would do like cucumber and milk.
But does it work like that? Are you sick the next day, or doesn't it take a few days?
I'm not quite sure. The cucumber
Is that the same
and
as
milk?
food poisoning? I don't know. What cucumber and milk? What are you what are you talking about?
The food poisoning is just the next day or the after you eat it, a while after you eat it, if it's really bad.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever had food poisoning.
You have to.
I must have. Have you gotten food poisoning?
A lot. Yeah.
A lot. Is it from your own cooking?
I don't know. Just me like guesstimating if it's still good or not.
Well, that always freaked me out back when I don't eat meat these days, but I used to. And when I did and when I was like cooking stuff, I'd always be super worried about like, am I cooking it too much, not enough, that kind of thing.
Yeah. But I never knew like cuz kids always said the cucumber and milk would make you sick, but I didn't understand.
What do you
why.
mean cucumber and milk? What does that mean?
The
Like this was like
people-
a common thing? Like people would like dip their cucumbers in milk?
Like if people that didn't want to go to school the next day, that's what they did. But I don't understand how it works because I never did it.
How many people do you know that did this?
Like everyone I went to school with.
Everyone you went to school with dips their cucumbers in milk.
Yeah, and they said that the next day they felt sick and then they wouldn't go to school.
Okay, walk me through it though. Is it just like they're dipping it like it's an Oreo, or are they eating cucumber and drinking a glass of milk?
Yeah, you eat the cucumber and then right after you have to drink the milk. And it's supposed to make you sick.
There's no way.
I never tried it
There's
though.
no way. I think
never,
someone is pulling a prank on you or something.
But I never tried it.
We could buy some milk. You could try it.
No,
See what happens.
it sounds disgusting.
Live on camera.
It sounds disgusting.
But people have had cucumbers and drank milk in the same meal.
I don't know how it works.
Like, what's the difference between that and like a cucumber with cheese? Would that make you sick?
I don't know.
Because I feel like you see those out like nearby each other a lot. You know,
What
like
do you mean?
there's a fancy little platter.
You go to places to eat cucumber and cheese?
No, I don't eat cheese, and I don't go to places to eat cucumber.
And cheese.
I don't walk in and it's
Yeah,
like,
you cheese hater.
where are the cucumbers? I've come just for the cucumbers. Once I have them, I'll be off to the next cucumber event.
Yeah.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Can you live just on cucumbers? Probably not. You're probably missing a few.
Well,
few food
cucumbers
groups.
are just water.
They're not just water.
Yeah, they're pretty much just water.
They've also got green.
Yeah, whatever's green.
It's a mixture of water and green.
Greens.
Green.
Greens.
Just the color green. Yeah. I've always been fascinated by, or before I leave this topic, do you have anything else to say about cucumbers and milk?
No.
Okay. I've always been fascinated by the whole thing of like, how do we know that we see the same colors, right? When I see red, how do I know that's the same red as when you see red? All right. And maybe there's like a slight variation, but maybe it's like a bigger gap.
You think you're colorblind?
I'm not saying colorblind. But what if like all of your colors were different from all of my colors? How would you prove that? How would you know that? Because when I look at something, I go, oh, that's red. But maybe what I see as red is what you see as green. But if you were always taught that what you see as green and is actually called red, you would associate that thing that you're seeing with that word. Exactly. Exactly. But how would you know? There'd be no way of knowing. And I think that's kind of cool.
Well, you know by describing.
How do you describe a color, though?
Like, this is like green forest.
Okay, but what if what I see as a green forest is what you see as, like, pink?
But it's not.
But how do you know that? How do you know that, like, we have the same colors, you and I?
Well, do you see this is green?
I see this as green, but I'm saying, though,
I don't know what you're saying.
I could see, if I always saw green as blue, but was told the color's called green, I would see something that you would consider blue and I would call it green. Right? Like,
Okay, but why are we... What?
like if I told you,
What is this? Why are we doing this?
if I told you this was pink
Why?
and you told me this
Why?
was blue, then everything that looks like this, I would consider it to be blue. And everything that looks like this, you would consider it to be pink. Right? Because that's how we
I
learn
don't
color.
understand.
You're not like born. You're not born with like this like built-in knowledge of the names of the colors. It's someone points out and goes, ah, blue, ah, yellow.
Okay,
They don't
so
always say ah, but
are you trying
Oh.
to trick me and say, no, this is not green, Monica, this is blue?
no, I'm saying how do you know? I call this color green and you call this color green, right?
Okay.
We both call it the same thing, but how do we know that we're both seeing the same color?
Because you said it's green.
Okay, but what if the hue is different, right?
What hue?
Like, what if it's not actually green? Like, what if we see the same color differently?
Oh.
Okay. I'm just saying something to think
Well,
about.
it's like
The other
that
thing-
when we play Dutch Blitz, you always say that the cards are orange and not red.
Yeah, because you need to add yellow to that.
But
That's at the other side of this table.
no, it's red.
I call it orange because it's like a red orange.
But that's just red.
But red is red, right? Like once you add yellow to it, it becomes orange. Like this is not the same color of the cards in Dutch Blitz,
No, but
but that's red.
that's not red.
It's a deep red.
burgundy.
That's not burgundy. Burgundy's got like brown to it.
Yeah, that's burgundy red.
Okay. Look, this is the color of like the Dutch Blitz orange,
Yeah.
and it's called scarlet. So that doesn't help either of us. Okay, this is red. This is a primary red.
Oh.
Okay? This is not what the Dutch Blitz
Ye-
colors look like. The Dutch Blitz one looks like this.
Yeah, but it's still red.
Do you want to? Maybe I can grab it. Okay, I'm going to grab these cards.
Why? You always have to be right.
Yes. If you've never played Dutch Blitz, it's a fun little game. Go play it sometime. It's cool.
It's not for old people. It's for young people too. Because whenever we would show it to...
Look. These are two different colors. You don't go from here to here without adding yellow. I'm telling you, it's orange.
But I still think it's red.
Or it's scarlet.
I'm trying to win all the time. Win. Gotta be a winner. Oh, I'm Daniel. Gotta be a winner.
Maybe. You never know. I believe in myself. In the heart of the cards.
Oh, not
The other
that
thing-
again. You always say that every day. It gets
Only thing
annoying.
there is. I've also noticed, like, my eyes see color a little differently.
What do you mean? Like
Like, I have a different, like, white balance.
right, left?
I ain't this potato Pokemon here, so I don't have, like, 3 eyes at the back. I just have my left and right, Monica.
Okay.
I'm sorry to disappoint.
Why aren't you potato?
You ever do that as a kid? I used to always just switch between eyes. Maybe that's autism. I don't know. I don't know if that's autism, but whenever I have something that I think is a unique experience, just autism.
Like when you stared at the light and you said, "Make me have superpower."
Oh yeah. Okay, so I've always been gullible as a kid. I've always been gullible as a kid. And remember, it was like 3rd grade, and this girl in my class said that she had photographic memory. I went, wow, I want to have a photographic memory. And some other kid chimed in of like, I have a photographic memory. I use it to memorize. He talks about the scene in The Incredibles where the boy's running across the water. He's like, that's in my photographic memory, and I've always got it. I'm like, I want this. And it's like, how can I learn this power? How can I teach me? So I asked this girl, like, what can I do? How can I get photographic memory? She wasn't much help, but she said, I remember my birth. There were bright lights, and I looked into them, and now I have a photographic memory. And then
What a load of crap.
I'm like, that's genius. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. So I went home, and on my desk in my room, I had this little desk lamp. I bent it. I pointed it straight at my face.
Trying to make yourself blind.
I started staring into the light. A few minutes in, my mom walks into the room and goes, "Oh, Daniel, what are you doing?" And I go, "I want to remember, Mom. I want to remember." And she talked some sense into me. She made me turn off the light. But also, I don't have a photographic memory, so maybe if my mom hadn't gone involved, maybe I would.
Maybe you would be blind instead.
I don't know. You ever do anything to try to? You ever? I don't know. You ever have something like that as a kid? Not like photographic memory specifically, but you ever have a kid say, "Oh, you gotta do this." I didn't like the cucumbers in milk. You know. You ever have kids trick you into something and you realize, "Oh no, that wasn't a good idea at all." No.
I don't remember right now.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a very specific thing to pull out. But you know how you could remember if you just stare directly into more lights as a kid. If you just kept staring. Stare, and don't
I
stop
already
staring.
have a photographic memory.
No, you do not.
I do.
No, you do not.
How do you know I don't?
Because your memory is almost as bad as mine.
Yeah, but when I like think of things, it's always like images in my head. It's not like
Yeah.
it's like visual things or like songs are stuck in my head constantly.
But you can't have a photographic memory of songs.
No, but if like you tell me a scenario, then I'll think of it as like an image like of like things. I don't know. But I guess that's not photographic memory because you're not like, it's not like you can take a picture with your brain.
Oh yeah,
It's more like visualization.
I think the girl told me she like clicks with her eyes, like she blinks. It saves a memory.
That's not true.
There's another. There's another.
There's another. There's no like, oh, I took a picture. There's none of that, Daniel.
If you want to save a video, you gotta do 24 blinks a second.
That's impossible.
Do it real quick.
Gonna run out of just wet tears.
But no, I was always gullible as a kid. I was always, and it might be the tism. There's a chance that it's a little touch of the tism right there. Yeah, always very gullible. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. But I still am. I don't know why I'm saying as a kid. I'm still a gullible guy. Do you have any thoughts on the gullibility of Dan?
Well, I think I was gullible too. I
Yeah?
kept on believing that that maybe Harry Potter could be real.
Yeah, but how old were you?
Oh no, I was like pretty young.
Yeah, that's just being a kid. Like when I was a kid, I'd always try to use like the Force, or I'd try to make like a Kamehameha,
Yeah.
and it never
but
came.
That's like cartoon. you know it's not real and it's
Okay, but Harry Potter isn't real. Dobby ain't real, Monica. I'm sorry to say.
I know. There's no place to hide in this treacherous world.
That's so depressing.
That was just a
It's
joke.
so depressing. Are you okay?
It's a joke.
You okay, Monica? It's okay to not be okay. I'm here for you. This treacherous world.
This treacherous world.
You and your treachery.
Treacherous. It's just like, you know that game Candyland?
Yeah.
That I used to have that on my computer.
Okay.
And yeah, I used to like, you know that ice cream game? Like with the ice cream queen?
In Candyland?
Yeah, in the computer one.
I don't know. I don't think I had the computer one. Enlighten me. What
Oh.
happens?
Well, you get to decorate like her ice cream dress or something like that.
Okay.
And then like you get to and then I as a kid I would like pick a flavor, then like I close my eyes and imagine how it would taste, the ice cream.
I like that you're going in for the full experience. Click.
Yeah. And then my mom would laugh at me.
Would she ever feel bad and just give you ice cream?
No.
No. That's sad. Yeah. You know what I remembered?
Well,
What movie did we just see?
The Predator?
Yeah. Okay. So Monica and I have been watching the Predator movies. We're watching them like in release order, because until recently I'd only seen the original and then like the 2011 movie or something, Predators. But we're watching them all. The only one we've got left is Prey. Really looking forward to it.
But the last one we saw was The Predator.
It was The Predator. I think that's
Yeah.
its name, from like 2018.
It's so weird how it's all the same names and stuff.
Yeah, was it Predator, Predator 2. There's the Alien versus Predator, but that's separate. Predators, The Predator, and then Prey. Whatever. Okay, but this 2018 one, I heard going into it that like it wasn't the best movie. And I was like, whatever. I'm just in for the ride. Let's see. And there are some cool parts. There are some parts where I was like, ooh, that's kind of cool. But there's a lot of things that weren't incredible about it. One of which is the reason, spoiler alert for the Predator 2018. The whole reason why the Predator like comes down to Earth is because of this autistic boy.
Oh yeah, I remember now. Oh, I didn't like that. I was like, the whole movie's great except for that kid, because like, this just like they're focusing too much on the fact that he has autism, and it's just like the whole.
Well, it's a few
It's
things.
like, oh, he has autism and he made this mistake, and
Yeah.
it's like, no, don't put so much pressure on this kid.
Yeah. There's a few things. Like, first of all, I think like autistic representation in movies is cool. Like it's good to see.
Yeah, but the way they did it is not so great.
Yeah, it was. First of all, they do the whole like maybe autism's just the next step in human evolution. Ooh, which like, to my limited knowledge, it's an interesting idea, but I believe that it's been like totally debunked. Like that's not the case. That's not what's happening there. The other thing is, it's clear that like this child isn't like autistic in real life, and there's a whole debate of like, you know, when you do see like autistic characters, should they be played by autistic actors, or is it okay if they're played by allistic actors, right? I don't really care either way personally. I think the important thing is that like, as long as it's done respectfully. Like one big place where I really started wondering if I was autistic was watching the show Atypical on Netflix.
Yeah, and he's not.
He's not autistic,
Yeah.
but and like, you know, there are criticisms you can make against the show, but I thought that he was able to portray somebody autistic in a way that it got my brain thinking and that resonated with me. So performances like that, I'm totally for. But with this kid, and I'm not going to blame the kid. It's just a kid. He's just like a child actor, you know. But
Yeah.
it was
Well,
clearly.
he probably got the role last minute, maybe.
I mean,
don't know.
who knows?
Yeah.
Regardless, like I don't want to knock this kid. It can also be like the direction that was given, because there were many parts throughout the film where the acting wasn't great, right? But you could tell the kid wasn't autistic. They were doing like really cliched stuff, but they'd also like switch it super quickly too. You know, it'd be like totally fine one moment, and then it like suddenly he's banging his head, and then he gets up and he's totally fine again. And
Yeah, there's
and
no like transition time.
there's no transition. There's no like. It felt like
And then,
a very like two-dimensional kind of like portrayal.
he like suddenly every time that he would put his like hands to his ears because it's too loud, he would just do it like suddenly, like
Yeah.
even though the noise was still going on when they weren't, like his hands weren't there.
Well, my thing more than like how quickly he like got into is just the more like how quickly he got out of that stuff.
Yeah,
You
there
know.
was no transition.
Yeah,
I
he'd go
think.
from like, being overwhelmed and, starting to have a meltdown to all of a sudden a minute later he's walking up, he's like, do.
I was like, everything's okay now.
But beyond that too, it's like it's rare that you see autistic characters like in films and TV. Like you do see it, and sometimes they don't like explicitly say that they're autistic, but like the fans watching are going, okay, that's like that guy's autistic. Like they're not going to say it, but like, yeah, that's an autistic person right there. But it's still rare. And it just sucks that like when it does happen, at first I was like, oh, there's an autistic kid. That might be interesting. But then he's the reason why the predators come down to Earth.
Yeah, it's all his fault.
Yeah, it's all his fault.
And it's like, wow, you're putting a lot on us.
Yeah, autism is responsible for the predators in that film. At least it's the reason why they went down there. And then I forget, what's the end of the movie? Does he use his autism to? Isn't he able to control
It's just
something?
like they hire him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm all smart and doing these computer things."
Yeah. Oh, because I think he memorized something.
I don't know.
don't know.
But it looked sketchy. I don't know.
Yeah, it did. So it was interesting. I heard bad reviews about it going into it, and yeah, watching it, that's I don't know. I kind of get. That's one of a few complaints to that movie, but I don't know. There were some cool elements, but overall,
Meh.
I don't think I'll be watching it again.
It's kind of forgettable. I only remember the kid
Yeah,
because I hated it so much
Yeah.
because of the kid, because they put the blame on the kid.
yeah.
Poor kid.
Poor kid.
But the dad did.
The dad was dumb too.
You could say that it was the dad's fault because he was mailing it to the
Yeah,
house.
he mailed it. Well, he mailed it to a P.O. box, but then the P.O. box got full, so it had to be dropped off at the door.
Yeah.
That's what happened there. But then he also swallowed that ball, that predator ball thing.
Yeah,
that
why
turned-
would he swallow that?
Yeah. Like, you don't know what that's going to do to you, right? You don't know if that's going to kill you. You don't know what's going to happen.
Like, why didn't he want to give it to the authorities?
No. I don't know.
That part seemed sketchy too. The whole movie.
The whole movie kind of was a sketchy time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of sketchy time, what time is it, Monica?
Oh! It's drawing time!
It's drawing time!
Eee!
All right, so for those of you who don't know, drawing time is the time when we draw. You got one of those. I got one of these. We shake up the squid head. Would you like to do the shaking?
Okay.
And we see what we get.
Oh no.
Shake, 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 shake! Shaking. Okay, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. I pick this one. Ooh, it's one of yours.
Do you need my help?
Does this say Gummy Bears versus Sparkle Boy?
Yeah.
And who is Sparkle Boy, Monica?
You know who he is.
I know who he is.
It's Edward the Sparkle Boy.
Do you want to do red?
Sure.
Okay. So Gummy Bears versus Sparkle Boy.
AKA Edward Sparkle Boy.
Sparkle Boy, also known as Sparkle Boy.
Also known as Edward Sparkle Boy.
So it was versus, right?
Yeah.
They're like going off. Okay.
It's because my mind is corrupted. My mind is corrupted with Sparkle Boy.
This is like Alien versus Predator, but better. This is Gummy Bears versus Sparkle Boy.
Sparkle Boy. You gotta make him sparkle, Daniel. Don't forget.
What's Sparkle Boy wear? Is he dressed all in like dark clothes? I picture him in dark clothes. 'Cause he's moody and no one understands.
Okay, you can.
What kind of stuff does he wear? What's his wardrobe like? Is it moody because nobody understands?
Usually it's like, I don't know, it's like, I don't know, usually he dresses like fancy.
If they ever remade the Twilight films and someone approached me and said, Dan, you should be the new Sparkle Boy. And they said, Monica, you should be the new Bella. Would you do it? Would you Twilight with me?
Maybe for fun?
But for 4 movies. Or 3.
That's a lot, I don't know.
Sparkle Boy. Canada. It's drawing time.
It's a drawing time.
It's a drawing time. I'm trying to color with red. I got the Zoe 101 theme song stuck in my head.
What?
I don't know. I do not know. Mine is completed. It's finished. It's perfect. It's pristine. It's the best drawing you will ever see. Ever.
Okay.
Today.
What a show off.
My picture's cool, and you're just jealous that you don't have a picture as cool as mine. Everybody knows it. We're all talking about it. The whole town met up while you were in the bathroom. And we had a discussion
But I
about it.
didn't go to the bathroom.
Before this podcast. You've been to the bathroom before? Whenever the last time you went to the bathroom, that's when we all got together to talk about it. Even though we didn't know what was going to be drawn, we knew. We knew. Somehow. We've always
What do you
known.
mean?
Somehow we've always known, Monica.
You're always saying that like fortune tellers are not true.
Yeah, because they're not. Because they're not.
You're like, psychic's not a thing, Monica.
It's not. We had a psychic come into our world religion class in high school. No, in college. I don't know. If someone wants to believe in it, they can believe in it. That's fine. But it's all made up. Do I look good today?
Okay.
Okay. You ready? You ready?
Yeah.
Let's see it. Let's see. What was it again? It was Gummy Bears versus Sparkle Boy.
Yeah.
By the one, the only, Monica.
Yes. So there's the sparkle boy. He's like, talk to the hand, and then like there's like a super the super gummy.
Is this super gummy?
Yeah, it says super.
Okay.
This is super gummy.
What
He
makes
says,
it super?
Well, he's got the jump. He's got like the super gummy jump.
Okay, I can
And
see
then
it.
he's saying, super gummy to the rescue. And then he's like, yeah, sugar blast. And then, and then there's like these guys that are trying to approach the sparkle boy. But she's like, I can't see. And then this other one behind her is like, guide me to the light, darling. And
So she wants to go to Sparkle Boy.
yeah. And then this one is like, sneak attack. I'll bite your hand off.
So who do you think's going to win this battle in the end?
Well, he is gonna lose his hand because he's not turning around. So
I'm
maybe,
impressed with his face. I love his kind of face.
yeah, I made him look serious.
Yeah. And I like the abs that you drew on him too.
Yeah, I added the abs after
Yeah.
because he needed those.
See, my guy's wearing a shirt like a lame-o.
No, he has to sparkle. He has to be nude, except for the pants and the shoes.
So who's going to win this, though? Do you think, like, the Bears win in the end?
Yeah, I think so. Like,
Okay.
they're candy, unless he eats them.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll eat them. I don't know.
But maybe they'll eat him first.
Mm,
That's awesome. I like it.
yeah.
Yeah. You want to see mine? Oh! I like that you got your super bear. The super bear is a cool touch to it. All right, so this is mine. So my guy, first of all, he's not sparkling, but he is Sparkle Boy. Okay. The other thing to know is he's got a shirt on, which is not as fun. Okay, so it starts here. He's already captured this one bear. He bites it. You can see his big vampire teeth right there.
Oh.
Okay. He bites it.
Why are his teeth so bigger than his head?
I haven't seen the movies. Okay, so he bites the bear in the neck, but then he goes, "What? No blood?" Turns out it's a trap. This bear yells, "Ha ha! Get him, boys!" You see this gummy bear is jumping out of this tree, heading for Edward. This one is like latched onto this tree, and he's ready to come for it. My personal favorite is you have the one bear who's rising out of the mud, and he's holding like a gummy worm to use as like a sword or a bat. He's going to beat him with his gummy worm.
I
So
was
that's what-
wondering what that was.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I wanted to incorporate at least one gummy worm into this gummy bear battle. And yeah. So that's mine. It's beautiful. It's perfect. So vote in the comments below. Let us know which one you like more. Do you prefer Dan's gummy bear sneak attack surprise or
Or mine.
or Monica
With the muscly sparkly boy.
with the muscly sparkly boy?
And the super bear.
Super bear.
Super gummy.
I do love the super bear. So it's like the Superman of gummy
Well,
bears,
it's the
right?
super gummy. He says, yeah,
Yeah.
sugar blast.
But he's like a Superman kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
He
I like
flies in.
it. Yeah, that's cool. None of mine have superpowers. They're all just their real superpower is coordination and teamwork, and the
Mine has
element
a
of
sugar
surprise.
blast.
That is true.
Mine has a sugar blast.
That's hard to beat. All right, vote in the comments below. Which one do you prefer, Dan's or Monica's? And yeah, that's it. Goodbye. This has been the Danica Daycast, episode 12. I feel
We're
like this one
getting
just blew
old.
right by. The next one will be a teenager.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
just like my little brother. My little brother just turned 13. It's very sad.
You cry.
He's growing up. No, he's a
You're
cool-
crying because you're getting old.
I am getting old. But so are you. Okay, this has been Danica Daycast. Hope you enjoy. We'll be back next week. Check us out online, danicadaydreams.ca. We got cool art. It's got bears. They're not gummy, but they are cool.
Yeah.
Danica Daydreams,